Let's have a good show today, Tom.
This is practicing my wink.
Let's make sure that the audience, the fans, the chat, the community really feel like they got their value today.
That sounds good, though.
Let's be good at our job today.
That one. We here.
Yeah.
Did you just type in all the chats wearing a diaper? You in the right direction. Welcome to another edition of the Grossi Perna Show. I'm Tom Grossi. That's Brandon Perna. And this is G, a B, and S. And the S stands for Holy Shnikes. Brandon Perna got out power rankings on a Tuesday.
Easy when your team is completely irrelevant and nobody gives a crap about them.
That's fair.
Don't need to do a Broncos recap about a Jarrett Stidham game. So let me get those power rankings out early. So we will dive into the power rankings today. Ooh, Gabbert versus Stick.
And Colts on primetime. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Yeah.
Oh, wait, are the Chiefs, are they going to start Gabbert? Is that what they're saying?
I mean, probably, I would assume. Because, why not?
I guess they have nothing to play for, right?
I mean, no, not at all. But, listen, we got a lot to talk about today. We'll talk about power rankings. We're going to talk about every single crazy playoff implication that is in play for Week 18. Yeah. And also, it feels weird that there is no game on Monday. It feels weird that there's no game tomorrow. There is like this gap now, not in, downtime, but there's a gap in I feel like I need to be streaming and I'm not streaming. And it's,
Yeah, Jess and I watched a movie Monday night since I didn't have to have football on.
What'd you watch?
The Holdovers.
I don't think I heard that one.
With Paul Giamatti. It's an Alexander Payne film.
Okay.
It's on Peacock.
Okay.
But it's really good.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah. I think it's the Holdovers. The Holdovers.
Okay. Oh, maybe I saw a preview for that, I think. I was on Peacock, maybe.
Highly recommend. Okay. Paul Giamatti at his best. Curmudgeon, angry old man. I swear to God, the first person who says that's just you, Perna, you're banned. You're also banned.
Banned.
Also, yes, I put diaper in the chat, and we've reached the point, Tom, where people are pointing out in my power rankings missed joke opportunities for inserting the diaper. So, thank you guys.
It's come full circle.
Yeah. I saw that Dalvin Cook got cut.
I loved your tweet. I loved your tweet so much. And you're just like, yeah. It's good. I hope it doesn't impact their playoff run, huh?
You know what's sad about that tweet is I saw that the news that he was cut right before I worked out. And I thought about tweeting it, but I was like, I don't care. I'm going to go exercise.
Fields is better.
Worked out for a good hour. Came back to my computer to do something else before I went upstairs. And that tweet was still just sitting there on my desktop. I was like, well, now I got to tweet it out.
You gotta.
So I sat on it for an hour and doubled down.
But yeah, Dalvin Cook released. No real surprise there. No. I'm curious if he winds up signing with the team for a playoff run, or just a team that is like, hey, we need somebody. But
yeah, which team needs more production?
I don't know picking up the phone and been like, Dalvin, we just love the way you were playing this year.
I would like to see him go to the Steelers because as soon as their run game really, I think, turns into what it should be, really peaks with Najee Harris and Jalen Warren. They're like, how do we stymie this? Let's throw Dalvin Cook into the mix. No offense. Cook was great, but, he turned exactly 21 years old and he's no longer any good at running back.
So, like, I'm sorry. That's it now. It's all done. Yeah, we're gonna talk about it because the Steelers could win or get into the playoffs if they win and the Bills lose. It's one of the ways that they can get in, and that is possible if the Dolphins wind up winning at home. So don't worry, we're going through all the playoff implications and scenarios and all that great, wonderful stuff. Dude, so that is a thing, and that's what was kind of we were talking about a little bit. The fact that the Eagles lost to the Cardinals, that has implications on that Lions-Cowboys game. Of like the Lions, they could have gotten the 2 seed.
Yeah.
And like hanging around there. Now, the thing is, we'll see if that actually plays a factor there, and we'll see if they win their first game, but they're going to get a different opponent and all that stuff. But it's unfortunately, that's where we are. But folks, listen, the ref involved, Brad Allen, has been severely punished. Okay. He now has to go and ref the Steelers-Ravens game. So,
ooh, yeah. Just
so,
a even more important game for the Steelers there. To answer Kevin's question, how do the Lions correct that as they heard it live? They don't have timeouts. It's an end of the game scenario. Like they can't just go whoa because they didn't have timeouts, right?
I don't think.
Pretty sure they don't have any more timeouts.
So.
Yeah, they didn't. They had one timeout left because Dallas mismanaged the clock just moments before that, so they can't just stop it. Maybe Kevin was joking. I don't know, but they couldn't do it.
That's for you, Perny. You got 50.
Oh, shit. With the season over, not including your own team, favorite jersey uni combo worn this year, even though I'm a Ravens fan, the Browns all white. Wow. That's the most surprising thing I've heard anyone ever say. One, it's a rival of the Browns, and then complimenting the fucking ugliest uniforms on earth.
Oh, I actually don't. Oh, I don't think they're that bad.
Browns,
they're all white unis are pretty nice. I mean,
they still got brown and orange in there.
I like the throwbacks. Like
it's like diarrhea because you ate too many candy corns at Halloween. So it's got a little tinge of orange.
No, I got
my favorite combo. Oh, I mean,
welcome to GPS.
It's honestly probably the Seahawks throwbacks they used this year.
I was about to say Seahawks throwbacks were really, really nice. I always like the creamsicle ones too from the Bucs, but yeah, Seahawks throwbacks were really, really nice. It was going. Pardon, what are you
we ride and we die together.
There it is.
Anyway. That's right. I do. Now I'm going to be such a dude when I'm 70, I'm going to be so freaking miserable. I'm going to be the most unpleasant person to be around. I cannot wait.
I want to do a geriatric GPS. And it's not going to stand for Grossi anymore. It's going to be Geriatric Perna Show. And it's just going to be you just going, there's too much grass seed. Which I walked into Home Depot and there was too much grass seed there.
You know what I hate is the jersey swaps at the end of games. Players used to hate each other. I remember when players would sneak knives into the games. And afterwards, instead of jersey swaps, they'd just stab each other until a champion was crowned. Jersey swaps. What soft-ass shit is that?
Blood swap. That's what we want. Swap. Good old blood swap is only how we do that.
They used to have bags of blood on the sideline just for transfusions. They didn't even take the time to match the right blood types, neither.
No, that's... Come on now. That's for snowflakes. Only 4 coaches who have been with their team since Andy Reid's been in KC.
Wow.
How long has Andy Reid been in KC? How long? It's been a while now.
Yeah. Like probably 10 years now?
Yeah, I was about to say it's about 10 years.
10, 11 years.
So Tomlin has to be one. Carroll has to be one. Belichick has to be one. And then...
Yeah. 4 other coaches? Is it 4 including Andy?
But it has to be those 3.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. There's nobody else that's...
Because LaFleur hasn't been there for 10 years.
McDermott's been with the Bills for a long time. But how long? Not that long.
What about McVay? Or Shanahan?
No.
I don't know if it's not. I don't remember the last one. I got 3. I got 3 out of 4.
Yeah.
That's what I hear. That's what. Ooh.
Dude, if Minshew came to Denver,
Do you know how happy Perna would be? Like, legitimately, would be so happy, so happy. Hey, is there David Tepper merch? And you know what it is? It's just like a drink stained shirt.
yeah, it's just a hand with the drink being spilled.
That's
Get
it.
on it, Rachel.
Hey, Tepper has learned his lesson. Okay,
Yeah.
he was fined $300,000, which is a lot of money
To a normal person.
For a normal person. That's what, like 0.00005% of his wealth. But he's learned now. He's definitely learned. He was just
Literally, like, Jalen Warren has been fined far more for lowering his shoulder and running.
Oh, Harbaugh. That's right.
Oh,
Chad.
yeah, duh.
That's a good call.
You mean,
That's a good call. That dude was
what do they call him?
amazing.
When he wiped the blood on his hand, they gave him, or his head, War God. What do they call him? I don't know. His
God
players,
of War.
God of War.
Kratos.
They called him something cool.
Ragnarok.
Something badass.
Hollow, you better not. You better not. They just got shut. Like, they just got shut out. You should be okay. You should.
No.
You should. I mean, again, full-time refs are not going to solve all the problems. I think it would begin to fix maybe some of it.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, too. Like, this should be the NFL's job. You know what I mean? Like, Perna and I know a lot about football, right? To the point where we're at. At the same time, like, bro, the NFL makes billions and billions of dollars. Like, this should not be a talking point for 2 idiots, you know, at 11 o'clock in the morning. Like, this should also just be like, hey, the NFL should actively look to fix the problem instead of sending out a crappy ass boring video that doesn't even acknowledge what actually happened on Saturday.
Yeah.
Like that's the response. Hey, yeah, it's really not so great. Or we're going to double down and we're also going to give them like a primetime game as well, you know, at 4 o'clock on Saturday.
Yeah, we should be talking about diapers right now, not this.
I mean,
right,
that's
Tom?
debatable too.
Just peeing in your own adult diaper. That video, well, one thing we thought, like, because of this call, because the game was a significant game in prime time, has playoff implications or whatever seeding implications, okay? We thought maybe this is the game where the NFL acknowledges that they made a mistake and they're like, you know what, we got to figure out a way to make sure that this doesn't happen again. And the NFL did the most predictable thing on earth and just put the blame on the Lions, right?
Yes.
So
Daniel,
they
don't
send
worry.
out that
It's in the
video and you said
agenda.
it's boring. It's like a minute and 45 seconds. And while I was watching that thing, I was like, dear God, can this just get over quicker? I've got decent attention. I make 20+ minute videos. I ask a lot of people. I was like, this is incredibly boring. And the whole time they're circling number 70 in the video. The NFL doesn't even acknowledge what the Lions claim, that number 68 reported as eligible. They just pretend like 70 reported as eligible, that teams should follow this. And you're right. They did not address the issue at all.
No.
And it's that the Lions tried to set up that they had 70 report multiple times in that game. And they're like, well, you just shouldn't try and be deceptive then. That was the NFL's answer. Just don't be deceptive.
Yeah, dude.
That's the whole fucking point, is to try to
Correct.
get the Cowboys to think 70 might be eligible. And yes,
Yeah.
they have to announce who is eligible. I'm sure Dan Campbell understands that. But if you get one player thinking or not hearing who's eligible, like, then all of that work you put into setting it up is worth it. Dan Campbell and the Lions learned it's certainly not worth it.
No.
Certainly not.
And like, shout out to Dan Campbell too, because like he does that press conference from yesterday, and he was just like fury. Like, these just like, we're not resting. You know who is gonna get absolutely destroyed this weekend? The Minnesota Vikings. The Minnesota Vikings, I don't even know who they're starting at QB, whether it's Jaron Hall, whether it's Joshua Dobbs, they're going to throw him back there, whether it's going to be Nick Mullins. But the Lions are like, we are not resting anybody. They are going to maul the Minnesota Vikings because they're just going to be the recipient of a lot of pent-up anger. Just a bit.
Watching that video, I did learn that a player is required to let the official know that they are eligible by doing this. And by verbally telling the official, I am eligible. So the player got to do this. I am eligible, ref. I am eligible.
I need a ref to do this.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I won't say what I need a ref to do.
But I kind of, it makes me want to make one of those videos that's like those old-timey infomercials. And it's like, so you're looking to run a fake. You're looking to
you
throw
trying
an
to be deceitful with your alignments?
And then just turn it.
Why does it matter? Like,
hey, it just shows you need to win in the NFL with honesty, no deceit. Now here's a gambling ad.
Yeah.
I think it's just the NFL. Do you think they're so tone deaf, like that they just have no ear to the ground and being like, oh, okay, people are still gonna watch. Like, it's just a bunch of angry people on the internet.
Yeah.
Or do you think it's like, we can't acknowledge this? Like a teacher who doesn't want to look dumb in front of their students and is like, oh yeah, no, George Washington won World War I. Right? They're like, no, I don't think that's not right. Like, you could just say you made a mistake. It's like, nope, he sailed across the Mississippi and he did it in Normandy.
Yeah.
Nope. Just doubling
Abraham
down.
Lincoln was actually pro-slavery in my history book.
I mean, technically, Lincoln didn't really make it. That's a whole thing about Abraham Lincoln, but that's a whole different thing about Mr. Abraham Lincoln. But legitimately, do you think it's just tone deaf, or they're just ignoring it and they're like, it's angry people on the internet? People are still showing up.
It's probably both. Like we're like, to me, I think the NFL would gain more favor with fans if they're like, look, there was a miscommunication. The Lions said 68 reported. The official said he heard 70. Somebody made a mistake. We don't know exactly where it happened. We can't really know without like hearing it. But we're going to make it better. We're going to make sure that this doesn't happen again. That's like the most, or they just say, yeah, the official messed up.
Official messed up. They've been downgraded, and won't be whatever.
You remember when we were waiting for the audio to come out about Mason Rudolph and Myles Garrett?
Yeah.
They're like, there's got to be audio of like what Garrett's claiming he said out there somewhere. And I would imagine there would be audio of 68 possible. Like they got those parabolic microphones out there, the big satellite dishes with the thing. Somebody had to be pointing at. I bet there's an audio feed somewhere. Just gonna never be seen.
I think it was 18, right? It has to be at least 8?
Yeah, it's kind of the video I'm trying to write is the Broncos QB purgatory. How long will we be there?
I thought you were doing a different video.
I am. Did Johnny already tell you?
Oh yes. We've been waiting, Brandon. I swear to God. If this can you wait till legit? Can you just wait till next week? Like, can you do me a personal favor and wait till next week? Because if you curse him with this video, Brandon, I will not forgive you. I will not forgive you.
Well, it's Johnny's idea, so
I know.
Dude, Johnny wanted to do a love video like back in October.
All year and all season, but now, before week 18, you're like, I'm going to do this video.
I want to do a Flacco video.
You should. You should do a Joe Flacco video.
I do. But I put it to Will. Will's going to write the bulk of it. And I said, we can do Flacco, we can do Jordan Love, and I've got a video we're going to do next week. And he's like, we haven't talked about Jordan Love in any depth. So I said, this is going to make Johnny jizz, so let's do it. Did you jizz, Johnny?
Okay. That question that you just asked, does Johnny hear that when he goes to heaven or hell? That's how he'll know what place that he's in.
Oh, hell, for sure.
Okay.
Sure.
It's
For
just
sure.
in urine place, your voice.
Yeah. And he was like, we could do like a Love Fields comparison. I was like, if we do that, both quarterbacks are guaranteed to play terribly this weekend.
That, yeah, A1. That, yeah. Perna, you have your fantasy going to week 18?
I don't know.
Come on, man. No, it's done. It's all done now. It's all done now.
Hey, man, I just
Got
do the
finished at week
default
17.
settings.
that.
I do the default settings.
All
Damn,
right.
I won all 3 of my games this week.
I lost in both my championships, so that's all done.
I apologize. That is my bad.
Wear a diaper. Okay. Brandon, you put it in the rundown, and I was really busy yesterday, and so like I wasn't on Twitter a ton, but I went on, and I just saw, like it was Aaron Rodgers Tuesday, and I was like, okay, whatever. And I haven't watched in a while because I'm just like, he's not playing football. He talked about the same exact things. Like I saw the clip that went viral amongst like Packers Twitter and was just like, oh, the Bears, if they can't beat us, can you even call it a rivalry? And everyone then started arguing of like Rodgers calling the Packers us still. And then people were like, no, it's fine. And then that was the thing. And I was like, don't care about that because this is nothing. And then I saw later when I logged on later that night that Jimmy Kimmel had tweeted at Aaron Rodgers, and I was like, what is this? Because I don't follow Jimmy Kimmel because I don't watch his stuff. I don't watch late night stuff. So I was like, all right. So I read through it, and I was just like, the number one thought was, I am so happy I do not have to talk about this. I'm so happy that I don't have to pay attention to this. I do not care in any way, shape, or form. It's 2 people arguing, and I'm just like,
Bam.
nope. I ain't gonna put my hands on that one.
My favorite part of so if you don't know what happened, Rodgers was on McAfee's show yesterday, and Rodgers does not like Jimmy Kimmel, and this is because back in May, Jimmy Kimmel called Aaron Rodgers a tinfoil hatter, and that the NFL might want to revisit its concussion protocol based on some of the stuff Rodgers was saying.
Yeah.
So, like, a standard late night joke. Nothing too crazy. And now we have this Jeffrey Epstein list that's supposed to drop, right? Like, we're supposed to see all these politicians and possibly famous people who flew to Epstein Island.
Mm-hmm.
And Rodgers suggests that Jimmy Kimmel is going to be on that list, and he cannot wait until that list comes out, and that he's in fact going to be popping a bottle when it does. Now, Rodgers is kind of joking when he says this, right? Like, but my favorite part about this, so that's why Kimmel responds. He's like,
yeah,
I'll see you in court if you keep saying this stuff about me. What's that? Slander? Libel? It's slander. Wait, is slander spoken or is libel spoken? It's one of those two things, right? But my favorite part, though, is Rodgers is like, he called me a tinfoil hatter? Well, I'm going to call him a pedo. Like, the escalation is just like I can't even make that jump. It's like such like a mundane insult to Rodgers to call him a tinfoil hatter, and he's got to know, like you're shitting out ayahuasca in dark rooms talking about aliens, man. To go from like being criticized for that to be like that dude's a pedo, and everybody's gonna see it when this list comes out. It's like whoa. And the best part too, on top of that, ABC owns Disney. Jimmy Kimmel's on ABC.
He's like the highest, like the second highest paid person in the company.
Oh, yeah. I just want it to continue. I want late night wars back, but it's late night wars versus NFL quarterbacks.
This has been the colliding of 2 worlds that I've never ever would have thought.
I can't wait for the Dak Prescott Jimmy Fallon feud.
Yep.
I want the Stephen Colbert Jarrett Stidham feud.
It goes after Stidham. Stidham. You better hope you draft one.
It's so stupid. This is so stupid. The weird part, though, is
pushovers.
The people who are now defending Rodgers because they don't like a comedian. Like Jimmy Kimmel's not funny, so he deserves this.
Dude, like
What a-
yesterday encapsulated the internet.
Oh my God,
just
yes.
like the word. I was just like,
Yeah.
dude, these are two millionaires just arguing about something which should be pretty straightforward, right?
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is like, if your name is on that list, which
Yeah.
is one of the worst lists that
If
your name
Jimmy
could be on.
Kimmel's in jail, I will
You go to
make an
jail. That's
hour-long
it.
apology video to Aaron Rodgers, and I will say whatever Rodgers says from now on, I will believe.
But,
I'm
like,
gonna straight up
dude,
believe it.
If your name's on the list, you go to jail. I don't care who you are. I don't care
Yeah.
how much money you got. I don't care your politics. I don't
Yeah.
go to jail. Duh. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye. You're gone. But I agree. For it to go to that, and then you have the Aaron Rodgers camp, which also there's the pro Aaron Rodgers camp. There's the pro like beliefs around what Aaron Rodgers is talking about. Then there's the anti-Aaron Rodgers camp. Then there's the anti-beliefs of what Aaron Rodgers is talking about. And they're all mixing together. And I'm like, I'm just trying to like take a look at this sports thing, see if they're Dalvin Cook got released. Okay. All right, that's cool. Oh, if you're a pedophile, go to jail. All right, moving on. Like, I am so glad that I don't have to sit there and actually watch this and get a cajillion questions about it anymore. And I'm just like, cool. Now I get to talk about
hopped
Jordan
on
Love.
Twitter. I was like, how many crazy ways can the Steelers get into the playoffs? Like, that's what I wanted to see. Instead, it's like Rodgers accuses Jimmy Kimmel of pedo.
Yeah.
Just like, holy shit. Is that where
I
we're
was
at?
like, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was a thing.
Give me Dan's. How do I send one to Dan? That's a
You
great
should.
idea.
You should.
Somebody get me that info.
But yeah, I don't care. I don't care in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, you don't have to anymore.
No. It's like Jordan Love being as quiet and reserved and not. And I know because I walked you into it. I walked you into that transition. It's so nice because I'm just like, cool. I don't have to like look and see. I don't care. Jordan Love's just like, I'm gonna go play football. I was like, let's go. Let's rock and roll, baby. Let's just.
So my question for you and for all Packers fans, and Tom, do the Green Bay Packers just have a knack for drafting crazy human beings who are also quarterbacks, or does playing quarterback in Green Bay turn you into a nut job?
Well,
That's all I want to know.
See, to answer that question,
Crook, Rodgers,
allegedly,
tinfoil hatter. Man, McAfee's relationship with Packers quarterbacks is bizarre. So what he and the relationship Jordan Love and Pat McAfee have in 10 years is going to be very important.
Happy New Year's. Yeah. I don't. Well, here's the thing. Yeah, is there a time limit, right? Because Matt Flynn, he seems pretty cool. Right?
Yeah, well, he was
Magic Man, pretty cool. Bart Starr was amazing. Love Bart Starr. Bart Starr played for a long time.
That was a long time ago.
All right, so you're saying in the modern era, maybe.
Yeah, just the last 30 years.
Just the last 30 years. Well, you know what? Ask me in 10 years, and if Jordan Love goes on his own thing, then I'll be like, okay. And I swear to God, if he becomes a New York Jet in like 15 years, then I'm just going to be like, I think I'm done, guys. Like, I'm out.
I hope Love bucks the trend. I really do. And I think as winners and losers, I came up with, I think the Packers made a deal with the devil. All Super Bowl winning teams, in my opinion, have made some sort of deal with the devil. You guys made a smart one. Like it's still painful for you. You're going to continue to get a Hall of Fame quarterback every time you draft one, but you're only getting one Super Bowl with them.
Oh, no.
So it's like you got to wait. You're going to get a lot of frustration, a lot of heartbreak, but you will be rewarded once every 12 years. So that's a pretty good deal with the devil.
Honestly, I'll take it. Like that's the blood demon. Everything's got a price. I get it. Like that's fine. Right. Man, I'll pay it. I'll pay it. The 49ers are just the anti-Aaron Rodgers. Like, no. Every single time they play him in the playoffs, that's it. Nope. Not gonna
And
happen.
I think that the Packers, here's the decision you guys got to make, Tom, this weekend, right? You win and you're in the playoffs. That's great.
Yeah.
But if you win and you embarrass the Bears, you embarrass Justin Fields, maybe he's gone, and then they draft the guy who actually torments you. Maybe that is Caleb Williams. Maybe it's Drake May. I don't know. Or do you have Joe Barry in place just to make Justin Fields look really good this weekend so the Bears have to extend him and he's not the guy, and then you continue to dominate the Bears for years to come? See, these are the conspiracies that are fun.
Yes, correct. Correct. Least cool? That's like a
Patrick
star.
Mahomes is not the least cool.
Yeah, no.
He's not the coolest.
He's definitely not the coolest.
I mean, it's got to be Russell Wilson, right?
Kirk
Cousins was that guy until the last.
Quarterback helped a lot.
Yeah.
Quarterback really
and the shirtless stuff.
Yeah.
Least cool.
Wilson, well, that's a
Aaron
good
Rodgers
answer.
right now, probably.
Well, it depends who you talk to, but Russell Wilson I don't think anyone thought it was cool.
No, like even in his peak, people are like
one
Russ
thought
is
it
kind of
was
lame,
cool.
but
no, they're like, oh, but he's like a nice dude. Like,
yeah, he was super popular though. Like you win a
Yes.
Super Bowl. That's a good question. That's a good off-season topic.
That's true, Mac. That is true. Perna, you do have power rankings. Thank God, Scoop.
Yeah,
Thank
let me
God.
bring this in.
No, not Matt Flynn. No. Not Matt Flynn, please. Please. Yeah, dude, it's just we live in crazy times. It's fine.
Yeah,
Everything's
it's
fine.
crazy.
Everything's all good. All right, you got power rankings. Okay, I didn't even get to see. I mean, he should come back as their defensive coordinator, head coach. Unless they get into the postseason, which is possible.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk about playoff implications after, or scenarios, I should say, after this. All right. What do we got here? Okay, yep, got that. So Lions aren't even on the list.
Nope, because they are simply at the mercy of the NFL officials.
That's fair. I get that. This actually looks like
It's pretty same.
Wait, you put the Rams at 3? They barely beat the Giants. I know they
Doesn't
went
matter.
toe
They
to
won.
toe with
They
the
got the
Ravens.
win. They got the win. They're 6-1 since the bye. They're one of the hottest teams in the NFL.
I agree.
Stafford,
That's why they're in the
Puka,
top 10.
Kupp, Kyron Williams. They can run the ball. They can throw the ball. Their defense playing pretty good.
Okay, I know. I get 3 is a little.
You know what? I wanted to put them up there last week. I waited one more. I think they're.
You think the Browns are beneath the Rams?
Yeah. Look, I think Joe Flacco is doing an incredible job, but I think Matthew Stafford's better than Joe Flacco.
I agree, but I think the Browns' defense is significantly better.
It's been pretty good.
Okay.
Rams are healthier. I mean, a Rams Browns Super Bowl would not be ideal.
Yeah, no, it would not. Yeah, it's so funny because I literally made my honorable mention teams the Texans and the Colts. Because I was just like, yep, they're both there. You know, the Steelers, I put them in there. A lot of it because it was out of love because they helped the Packers. But
sure.
Yeah, this isn't too far off. The only team that I thought I had a little too high was the Bills, but I had them above the Cowboys because I beat the crap out of the Cowboys. And I was like, all right, we'll see if they wind up falling. The Dolphins, I put down a little bit just because they were high.
I think the Dolphins are probably even lower than that because it's just the injuries. It's not necessarily like losing Bradley Chubb.
And Xavier Howard got hurt too, right?
He might not play this week. So maybe he'll be ready to go for the postseason. It's just, there's just too many key guys. And Chubb's such an important one, I think, for them.
Yeah.
Then the Texans and Colts both at 8. For the first time, I wasn't trying to be, it wasn't shtick. I literally don't know which one of those teams is better. And they both whoever wins is in the playoffs. They're both fun teams. They're scrappy teams. You want to bet on the Texans because, CJ Stroud is technically a better quarterback than Gardner Minshew, but Minshew, he don't get rattled, He's going to make some mistakes, but he bounces right back. He knows how to run Shane Steichen's offense. So that game to me is probably one of the most interesting games this week, but it seems like nobody really gives a shit about that game. I got the Packers at 11. Moved them up, Tom.
I'm excited about this game because it's huge for their fan bases, like the Texans, Colts. I do agree, though. But that's been both. The Texans are only getting media coverage because of CJ Stroud.
Yeah.
Right? And then the Colts are still. They went on a 4-game win streak, and we're still not getting any media coverage.
Yeah.
So I think once you have Anthony Richardson back, I think that's going to help a lot. But if the Colts wind up winning on Saturday, people are going to be talking about him. They'll be talking about him then.
Yeah, it'll be crazy.
So, I mean, you could argue he's one of the depending on who you talk. And a lot of people think he's one of the coolest. So,
I want to call him not cool, but I think dating Taylor Swift's got to help your cool status by a lot.
I would think so. Berna!
We're back with Brandon Berna. All right.
Get your hand off my penis! This is the bloke who got me on the penis, people.
People.
Been a while.
It's been a while. Oh, I'm so glad that's happening. Okay, great. All right, you want to pull up some playoff implications and scenarios? Let's give the people what they came for.
I do. Right after I tell you about our friends over at Underdog Fantasy.
I'm going to disclaim.
We forgot to use this layout so many times.
It doesn't really, it cuts a bit of your screen.
Well, it's supposed to go in here. Bam.
Oh.
But it was supposed to be with our old one, this one. And then you do that. There. Look at that. It almost disclaimed. So I don't have my NFL picks yet over here at Underdog, so I can't make the picks today. But let's enter a little weekly winners. Haven't done weekly winners for a while. This is a very, very cool fantasy draft you can do at Underdog Fantasy. We got a link in the description. Our code is GPS. If you use that, they'll match your first deposit up to $100. Move this up on my screen. All right, so this is like a daily fantasy draft, right? First place, $1,000 or $5,000. But
Math. Reading.
Oh yeah, it's 100,000 in total prizes every week. So they didn't do this last year, but this year, you do your best ball tournaments, which we did a lot of drafts at the beginning of the season. Hope maybe some of you are currently in position to maybe win the big $3 million prize there. Don't know. But you enter this for a few bucks, and now I will draft a team, and I could win $5,000 if I come in first place.
Don't play CMC, Brandon.
Is he not playing?
No, he's not playing.
How ironic is it, Tom, that Christian McCaffrey got a calf injury?
I think it'd be pretty normal. He's a running back, so.
No, but I think that's irony.
I don't know if it is. I think it's unfortunate. I think he should be fine for the playoffs. But you're saying because his last name's McCaffrey, and that kind of sounds like calf.
If his last name was Christian McGroin and he had a groin injury, would you not agree?
That would be a very interesting last name. I've
What
never
if it
heard
was
McGroin.
Christian McTwinkletoes and he hurt his toes?
You know what? That would be more ironic, I think, because toes would then be in his last name and would be his injury.
Ooh, I got the second pick. Who should I take?
Christian McCaffrey.
I'm not taking. I'm going to get him because you know what's going to happen. We're going to start this draft. I'm going to make my first pick. Then we're going to start talking, and then I'm going to forget it's going, and it's going to auto select me McCaffrey.
Yep.
Yep.
The answer is CeeDee Lamb, by the way. Is what you should do. That is the answer.
Yeah, last week was the answer. 227 yards, should have had 2 touchdowns. Here's a question for you while we're waiting to make this first pick. I said the Cowboys outplayed the Lions in that game, and a lot of people were giving me shit. A lot of Lions fans were a little upset that I said that. We streamed the game together. I didn't say the Cowboys dominated them. I said they outplayed them, and they were that CeeDee Lamb fumble away from just winning. And there were some poor Mike McCarthy clock management away
Oh my God, it was
from
horrible.
winning.
Yeah, horrible.
But like Goff threw a couple
They
picks.
picked Christian McCaffrey.
Oh, thank you.
They don't watch
Yes.
GPS.
Yes, CeeDee Lamb, baby. Give me my $5,000 now, Underdog. Code GPS when you sign up. Make it happen.
Hey, let's go, Eddie. What up, Eddie? For the kitty. Could go for some cheeseburgers. Oh, say less.
I know they always try and beat me up to the cheeseburger stand.
Let's go.
All right.
Appreciate you. Thank you, Cousin Eddie.
Okay, so let's
get those playoff scenarios, my friend. Let's dive in to the wonderful world that is playoffs.
Scenario.
Dude, can you imagine? Because Aaron Rodgers loves Taylor Swift too.
Oh.
And he hates Travis Kelce.
I know.
That's the whole Pfizer thing. Oh,
Did you see that Kelce made $20 million from his Pfizer deal?
Did he really? The
Yeah.
commercials are everywhere.
Yeah.
It's wild. Okay.
What's the one thing you wouldn't promote for $20 million, Tom?
There's a lot of things that I wouldn't promote.
No, like I know, but like a brand or something that you are like, it's got to be within the realm of a lot of people would promote that, but you just couldn't do it.
The Minnesota Vikings.
I was gonna say the Chiefs. All right, we're on the same page.
That's a good point, Tim. That is a very, very good point. Yeah, Bears, it'll be interesting. I mean, they have some decisions to make. I think they're going to trade it away, and they're going to wind up just giving him some support. Get Martin Harrison Jr., get an offensive lineman, and rock and roll with Fields.
Yeah, because like what they said, teams are probably willing to give up a second or third rounder for Justin Fields, which is fine. But what they can get for the number 1 pick, they're saying is more than they got last year right now. And I just don't know like how you don't take that.
Sure. Bernie got a fitty.
Oh, Trav. Christian
McBrandon Berna.
Ooh, what if McCaffrey hurt his McPrandon? Would that be ironic, Tom?
Is that what your like breakfast sandwich would be called at McDonald's? The McPrandon?
Ooh, a McPrandon? Yes. Yes, it would.
What would be in it?
A fried egg, bacon, hot sauce, some sriracha.
Are those two different things?
No, just sriracha. I chose
Okay,
sriracha
sriracha.
specifically
Okay,
for
okay,
breakfast sandwich.
Okay.
Were
you going like English muffin?
Yeah, we'll go English muffin.
English muffin, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Toasted?
Toast it. Cheese. We're gonna
Cheese,
go
toasted
with
with
some
cheese. What
pepper
kind of
jack
cheese?
and
Pepper
cheddar.
jack.
We're gonna mix it up. Pepper jack and cheddar.
Okay. All right.
And 1 bald eagle tier.
For flexing or taste?
I just want to make sure we are capturing a lot of bald eagles in making my sandwich.
I think that's a lot illegal. Like a lot.
Oh, is the egg their eggs too?
I'm pretty sure that's
The
even more
McPrandon
illegal.
makes bald eagles extinct.
Yeah, no, that's really illegal.
Then we can make the animal of our country the groundhog.
Is that something that you've been wanting for a while?
Yep. The eagle gets too much attention, is what I've always said.
I mean,
Where are the groundhog people out there? We just use groundhogs for 1 day a year.
But I mean, they get a whole
Treat them
day.
like whores. And then forget about him for the extra 365 this year, days of the year.
Tawny Phil is happy, I hope. I mean, everyone
Yeah,
dresses
one
up.
groundhog.
Well, I mean, like, I think, like, having a whole day named after you, like, a beloved movie, a well-done movie, too.
Here you go, Jeff. Shit, that was so cool last year. All right, let's look at these scenarios before people really just click out of here.
I've been watching. Our viewership did not go down, which
No, they're
honestly, at some point, folks, it's your fault. Like, I don't want to, just put the blame on it. But at some point, and there might be some Stockholm syndrome going on, but
the weirder our conversation gets, my eyes just go to the viewership number.
Yes.
They're still hanging around. We can keep talking about this.
This one hasn't set them off. They're like, nope. This one.
And yes it, Tom. All right.
Listen, it's improv, baby. All right, let's do it. Woo! Texans have, it's pretty clear cut for them. They win, they're in. Or Jacksonville loses to the Titans. And the Titans I think they're going to really try to ruin the Jaguars' day. I think so. Probably going to see it. Do you have the Texans winning?
I don't know. I haven't decided yet. I mean,
8,000 away.
Who's the home team?
They don't. Indianapolis.
I might lean Indy.
It's gonna be crazy at that stadium too. It's gonna be like that. Could either be like, wow, now everyone's gonna start talking about the Colts, or it's gonna cement CJ Stroud's he's offensive rookie of the year.
Yeah,
like first primetime game too.
Yeah,
it's exciting, dude.
You know, I really wish Tank Dell didn't get hurt for the Texans. The offense was so fun when he was there. But yeah, I think the Colts too, they've had just like their defense has given up a lot of points this year, but they're kind of like an opportunistic defense. I feel like keeps them in a lot of games. So it'll be interesting. So yeah, the Colts or the Texans, they just need to win. Yeah. If the Jags lose, then one of those teams lose or tie, right? If the Jags lose or tie, one of those two teams can clinch the South. So that's kind of wild.
We'll know that, by the time the Jaguars are going to play. So
yeah,
this one, it's still crazy that we're talking about in week 18, the Steelers potentially making the playoffs. They're going to finish with a winning record. They're going to be above 500. This is also, the punishment that Detroit's favorite ref just got. But it's like pretty easy, I would argue, or like it's not out of the realm of possibility to make it because Baltimore is resting their starters. So the Steelers are going to be in and that they're going to be playing hard. They will probably, I think, beat the Ravens. And then Buffalo losing to Miami is very possible. It's tough, but it's very possible.
I don't think Buffalo loses,
I think so, Brandon, potentially.
But just a win and a Buffalo loss, or a Jags loss, or a tie in Indy. Man, the best way for the Steelers to get in my opinion, would be the Colts and the Texans tie, and the Steelers win. Now, I wouldn't count out Tyler Huntley. Actually handing the Steelers an L. But Mason Rudolph has just made their offense so much more functional.
Yes, it's efficient.
Like, we'll see if it continues.
Yeah. No, it's gonna be like I would not be surprised to see them hanging around. I think it's gonna be tough because I have Buffalo winning too, but just from like an outsider's perspective, it's like, damn, like just one game to happen. And that's it.
Yeah.
All right. I like that. That is true, HD. But it's also in a negative way, always, forever.
Yeah.
Links are always in the description, not GPS, but any of the other videos. Yes.
So if the Jags lose, the Broncos win, and the Colts and Texans don't tie, and the Steelers win, they can get in. That's right. That's right, Kevin.
That's fair. Yep, that's fair.
I like the people who subscribe to my channel because they watch like a very like kind of level-headed video. And then the next one, they just get slapped in the face with nonsense.
Yeah.
Like, why did I agree to this?
Mm-hmm.
Why did I agree to have my YouTube timeline F?
Be good, Chris. That'd be good. I could probably do something like that in the offseason.
Ooh.
All right. Buffalo, Miami. One of these sons of guns has to clinch the East.
Yeah.
And so we'll do like predictions and stuff, but Allen's got a stinger right now. Of course, Dolphins, they lost Chubb.
Yeah.
Xavier Howard's injured as well. This could be a tough game. I really thought it was being played in Buffalo, but I was wrong. And so it's being played in Miami, which should give an advantage to the Dolphins. But, dude, this game is going to get nuts.
Yeah, I feel like the Bills are going to win. I feel like the Dolphins are kind of reeling. Yeah. The Bills took care of them early in the season when Miami was, still hot.
Surgeon. Yep.
So, yeah, I like the Bills there. And if the Dolphins lose, they're still in the playoffs.
Correct. Yeah, they're in the playoffs regardless. It's
Yeah.
the Bills. They win and they're in. Or if Pittsburgh just loses, or if Jacksonville just loses, they're in as well.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of ways for them to make it in, but they legitimately could be the number 2 seed in the AFC or miss the playoffs completely. Like that was a big stat going around on Monday.
Yeah.
Which is very Bills. So Bills.
So they don't even have to win. They can tie. They can tie and they're in. Steelers lose, Jags lose, tie in this game. What happens if the Bills tie and these two teams tied? Then shit gets real weird, I think.
And we're getting
wild.
Let's see. Jacksonville, it's easy too. They win, they clinch the division. But they also can clinch a playoff berth if they tie and Pittsburgh loses. But then it gets like a little bit wonky as well. Like there's a scenario where the Jaguars don't make the postseason.
Yeah, if they lose, right?
Yep.
And then
Pittsburgh wins.
Yeah, dang. That would be crazy. And Trevor Lawrence is day-to-day right now. So that's something to keep your eye on. It's almost that, and that's a tough decision to make if you're the Jags, right? Like they were good enough with CJ Beathard last week.
Yes.
Can they be good enough against Tennessee with CJ? I don't think so. But do you risk Trevor Lawrence getting re-injured if he's not ready to go? Again, like Tennessee's not the least ideal team for the Jags to play to close out the season is the Titans.
Yeah.
Mike Vrabel is on a warpath right now. That's a physical team that's going to beat the piss out of you, even if they lose. I don't like this for Jacksonville, even though I think they'll win that game. Yeah, they're going to come out limping.
That's
I feel
pretty
like.
well, I mean, with the Jaguars too, the Titans had that collapse, like that colossal collapse last year where they beat the Packers on Thursday Night Football and then they didn't win a single game the rest of the year, didn't make the playoffs, what have you. It's not the same, but the Jaguars these past like few weeks with all the injuries and just tough games, like if they wind up getting bounced from the playoffs before they even get there, like that's going to be rough.
Yeah. I like the Jags defense right now. I think that'll be the reason they win.
Yes.
Is Tannehill or Levis starting? I don't know, but I feel like there's going to be some sacks. There's going to be some turnovers from the Jags defense.
Yeah,
but
I think so.
Their QB position is precarious.
Cowboys, they just need to win or Philly loses, and they're already in the playoffs, but then they clinch the East. That whole stat continues of like never being back-to-back winners in the NFC East for a cajillion years.
And Dallas deserves it. They're a better team than Philly right now, so
they are.
They deserve to win the division. They should win the division. If they somehow don't, though, it will be hilarious. They got Washington. That's not a threat at all. Good luck, Dallas.
Tampa,
Bucks.
This is easy too. They win the division, and then that's it. Now, here's the problem, because the Packers could wind up getting bounced this way because the Bucks have the tiebreaker over the Packers. They do not want to see the Buccaneers as a wild card team because then they would have the advantage and tiebreaker over the Packers. So I actually want the Buccaneers to win, defeat the Panthers, have a nice day, because then they clinch the division and we already have the tiebreaker over the Saints.
Gotcha. Yeah, I like to think that the Buccaneers were just toying with the Saints' emotions last week. Let them win that game, knowing they had Carolina this week. I I really just want the Buccaneers to beat the Panthers so badly that David Tepper quits, that he just quits.
Yeah, I mean, the Panthers just got shut out by the Jaguars.
No, it
Now,
needs to be 100-0. 100-0.
It's going to be interesting.
No offense, Panthers.
Yeah,
Not rooting against you. I'm rooting against your owner.
This is still insane that the Falcons can still do anything.
Yeah.
They can win the division. So they literally just need Tampa to lose, and they need to win against the Saints.
That's insane.
Yes.
That would be hilarious.
Yes.
If the Panthers somehow beat the Bucs, and I like Atlanta beating New Orleans that would not surprise me at all. Atlanta's a team that looks very good one week, then looks like the worst team the next week, then good again, then bad again.
Little Lattimore and Mike Evans. Oh, I know. I know.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. The Falcons and Saints also despise one another.
Yeah.
So this is going to be just a week of hatred here.
An S show, baby.
Yeah.
The NFC South is the least interesting division, but it's got the most interesting scenarios this weekend.
Yeah. I'd say. I mean, the problem is now you kind of have this scenario where the Saints have that hope. I think they can beat the Falcons. I just think it's going to be really tough for the Panthers to beat the Buccaneers. I just don't think that one's going to happen.
Oh, I'm back on the clock. Okay.
Bang! For the kidding. Oh, yeah, no, absolutely. The schedule has not been great. Losing to the Bengals on primetime was pretty rough. And that's not a knock against the Bengals. It's just the offense has been a bit problematic all year, in which they have these like ebbs and flows where like, oh, yeah, they're looking really good. Oh, yeah, there's Calvin Ridley. There's ETN. And then they kind of just disappear. So, listen, I'm hoping for you, Jaguars. I like your team. And because of that, wait, what is this?
All right.
Oh, there we go.
So he was either alive, now he's dead, or he was dead, he was really dead. What else matters? What else matters? You walk through it. Everybody either puts a thumb up or thumb down.
I'm going to watch that whole thing and just get every great soundbite this offseason.
I actually really hope you do. What else matters? What else matters? Appreciate you, Bailey. Okay, so Eagles.
They need to win, and they need Dallas to lose or tie.
Mm-hmm.
Or they can tie, and Dallas can lose.
Mm-hmm. I mean, not to spoil anything for predictions coming out later today, I originally picked the Eagles. While I was talking about it live, I picked the Giants. The Eagles struggled with the Giants 2 weeks ago. They have not been playing well. And this is like, the Eagles could go all the way. They just need to figure it out within these next 2 weeks. They just got to figure it out. They're in the dance, but they are looking like garbage. And the Giants just went toe-to-toe with the Rams. So I think it's more than possible. So, yeah, I saw Christian Kirk could be activated off IR, or they're opening they
opened the window, yeah. So if he's like, he could play this week, doesn't mean he will. It's going to
it doesn't mean
like
much.
where he's at, Thursday, Friday is when they'll decide. But
yeah, I agree.
If they can win and they have him back he was huge to the Jags offense.
Yes.
Like watching some of their games, I'm like, dang, he's a really impactful player for Jacksonville.
No, please no. Eagles, please no.
Oh my God, an all bird scenario.
Boo! We don't care about the Seahawks. They win and Green Bay loses. That's how they get in. No, dude. Don't even look at me
The
like
Seahawks
that.
get in over the Packers?
That's what I'm saying, dude. You don't even want that.
No, I do not.
Come on now.
No, I do not.
Hey, this is the one. It's the one. Win it in, baby. Win and in. All right? Because after that, it gets complicated. Then we need Seattle to lose. We need the Saints to lose. I don't want to do any of that. Just win and in. That's it.
I love how the ties are factored into so many playoff scenarios, and they almost never happen. You get one, maybe two ties in an entire season. Has there been a tie this year? We haven't had a tie game this year.
I don't think so.
I think we're due for one.
No.
Packers, Bears
No.
tie, then nobody can claim ownership. Ownership in flux all offseason.
I mean, we beat the crap out of them week 1.
Yeah. I think
Kinda
the
sent
Bears
their
are
season
a
into
different
a
team
spiral.
right now. They're
They
playing
are,
better
very
football.
different
Their
team.
defense is playing good.
Yes, they are.
Dude, I
playing
saw-
pretty well.
I'm not just trying to promote Pardon My Take because I mentioned Big Cat retweeting you, but I saw they posted a clip of him talking about the Bears throughout the season. I was just like, that is me. It's like, this is the worst team. This is not our guy. We're terrible. I can't. And it was like, last week I was angry. Now I'm just this.
Yep.
And there's like week 14. It's like, maybe
Good
there's
guy.
something there. Next, Matt Eberflus is doing a hell of a job, guys. I was like, oh my God, he's just as crazy as I am.
Yep.
Which is what watching a bad to mediocre team will do to you.
You're not wrong.
This game's not a gimme for the Packers.
It is not.
If I was confident about your defense, I'd be like, you're in. You guys are so in because Love's playing great. You got Aaron Jones back. When he's running the ball, that offense works so well. We saw Love just make some nice throws against the Vikings. But I feel like this is going to be a
against the
shootout.
Vikings.
This
They
might
did
be a
real
shootout.
well.
I don't think Joe Barry knows how to defend Justin Fields.
I mean, he did week 1, but yeah. I
This
think
is a different week.
the play calling is going to be different this time around. Being played in
DJ
Lambeau, I
Moore?
think, is going to help, but
What's your nose tackle's name?
Kenny Clark?
Kenny Clark going to be lined up one-on-one with DJ Moore all game.
Preston Smith. No, Jair will be back. He's not suspended anymore.
Oh, he's
Dude.
back.
Yeah, we did it last year. The Lions came into our house. They beat us with like they couldn't go to the playoffs. Please don't let it happen again. Please. But it's going to be an interesting game.
I feel, oh man, I don't know. Like it's going to be a close game.
It is.
I want to just be like, yeah, I think the Packers are going to win. Because it'd be fun to see this iteration of the Packers get into the playoffs. I like the Jordan Love story, but I like the Bears in a situation where they just want to upset you guys. They have nothing to lose because they have that first overall pick. They're a dangerous team. They're one of the most dangerous teams to be playing this final week, I think.
I agree.
But
I definitely agree. Dude,
Yeah.
I mean, they competed for the 1 seed.
it'll be fun.
Yeah.
It's Texans Colts to me is interesting.
I'm very excited for that.
This
game.
is the most interesting game. Packers Bears to me, and then Texans Colts number 2.
Not Dolphins Bills?
No, because
Bills.
the Dolphins just
Mhm.
I'm so off the Dolphins, and it's because of the injuries.
Yep. Well, what is it literally last week when you're like, I'm back up on the Dolphins?
Yep. Probably.
Yep.
It is because their defense was playing good, but then they lose their best defensive player.
Yeah.
And they might not have their other corner, and they need that. I mean, they got Eli Apple filling in.
The Vikings need a lot of help if they want to make it. Them losing, I think it dropped them like a 3% chance. They have to win.
Yeah.
Green Bay has to lose. Seattle has to lose. And then either Tampa or New Orleans has to lose too.
Yeah.
And I don't think the Lions are losing to the Vikings. Ooh, there you go. Gabe.
Ooh, there we
Unless-
go.
unless
Nice
we-
stat.
Unless we have one. That was the last playoff stat, right?
Yeah.
For scenario. That was it. We did it.
One day, yeah, that was the last one. When this show is a proper show,
Yes, I believe so.
for stats of the day, they should be
most part.
rewarded.
Hmm.
You know?
No. Perna, what you got coming out today, buddy?
Probably just a short. We're writing. Will's working on Jordan Love. I'm working on another episode. So this is it, baby.
Nice.
What do you got, Tom?
I got NFL Week 18 predictions coming out. I stayed up until about 2:15 in the morning last night writing a 20-page script for the NFC and AFC North reaction to Week 17. So as soon as this is done, I am going to film that for a long time, and then I'm going to try to edit it all and get it out late tonight. I'm going to try my best.
Hell
So-
yeah.
Listen, I told you. I told you Bills fans would love him. I told
that's like-
you love him.
How much do you wish he was still with Green Bay right now? Like, because they dealt him at the trade deadline, right?
Yep.
And at the time, things weren't looking great for the Packers. Same with the Broncos. We're like, hey, if we got to move some pieces, that's fine. But knowing that you're back in it now, if you could go back, would you be making sure Rasul stayed?
So, like, I never wanted him to go. 'Cause,
Yeah,
like, at the
right.
time, too, he was playing the best out of all of our corners.
Yeah.
So, I get it because of, like, the Packers didn't think they'd be competitive. I am very happy to see Rasul, like, do well. And, like,
Yeah.
it sucks that he's not there, but I get it. I'm not happy
No,
about
I
it. Like,
think
I hate it, but
it's
like,
a get it type thing. But like, man,
doesn't feel good.
to make the Packers like feel like they could be dangerous in the playoffs, if we're like,
Yep.
man, that secondary is looking pretty good right now.
Yep.
That's kind of what you want, but
We'll see. And again, if the Packers, that's why, like, if the Packers win, I mean, it already is, but if they win against the Bears and go to the playoffs, this team, who I got destroyed by the internet, because I was like, they could win 10 games. And if they win 9 games and they go to the playoffs, dude, it's a win. I don't care if they get blown out 55-0. I'll be upset, but
yeah.
that's a win of a season. Love looks like the guy. Like, you have such a young core that you could build around. Like, let's rock, baby.
Yeah,
Let's
you guys are
freaking
playing
rock.
with that house money.
Yeah, it's all house money. So
Both our teams are 8-8, and you got a chance, and my team is dead.
yes, that's the NFC and AFC, baby.
Yeah.
But folks, we appreciate the heck out of you. We'll see you on Friday at 11 a.m., 9 a.m. Mountain Time for GPS, as we'll preview every single game in Week 18. But thank you so much for watching. I'm Tom Grossi. That's Brandon Perna. This is GPS, and you have been navigated.
And you've reached your destination.
Also, it's like the best script I've ever written for this song.
Ooh.
So, yeah, no, it's going to be so good. It might be coming out 2 a.m., but it'll be really good. Really, really
Adapted
good.
screenplay.